Chris Dessi, CEO of Silverback Social and producer of the Baltimore Digital Summit, here with Greg Vetter from Tessemae. He just came off stage chatting with the executives at the Baltimore Digital Summit, and just want to spend 2 minutes with you, talk about some of your impressions and some of the things that you covered in the breakout session so that people that are on our YouTube channel can maybe get an insider's peek into the cool stuff that you just shared with those executives. So tell me, what'd you think?
It was great. I mean, I love telling the story. We've had a wild, wild ride. And I think the big thing that we presented today, we get the question all the time, how did you grow your company to this size? How did you do it? And we pinpointed it back to our core values. And a lot of people talk that, but they don't live it. And so I think being able to explain the core values in specific examples, for example, no excuses. I missed the first 2 weeks of my son's life because we were hand making salad dressing for our biggest purchase order ever. That's a prime example of no excuses. That's a good excuse, man. Right? That's a good excuse. My son was born, right? Like, my wife hasn't forgiven me, but we're still here today.
But nobody could be like, I have a toothache, I can't come in.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
Right.
I had a child.
Right. No one is coming up with a better excuse than that ever.
Great. That's insane. So let me ask you this. So now, that's a great example. I mean, it's a really compelling example. Internally within your organization, I mean, do you guys really sit down and define the vision and values, or do you feel like it was something for us at Silverback, it almost comes organically, where it just kind of becomes a part of who we end up hiring, the way we speak in the office, the way we approach problems? Did it start organically? Like, tell me, maybe give me a little bit about your process there, or is it just like, listen, it just happened, man, that's just the way it goes?
No, we had a very specific vision of what we wanted from the culture, what we wanted the company to be. Now, when you put that in reality, it doesn't always come out exactly as you imagine. And so I think that is the difference between the specific vision that we had versus, okay, this guy doesn't fit exactly what we want, but he hits 4 of the 5 or whatever, right? You got to take the vision, then you got to match it up to reality and see what you come out with.
Yeah, very cool. So now you mentioned everybody's asking you, how did you grow your business so expeditiously, I suppose. Can you give us maybe 1 or 2 other ways besides the culture? We understand work hard, everybody gets that, but obviously you guys are taking it to an extreme, but maybe some internal processes, ways in which you view the product and the communication with the customer. I always find that the people that have really had the explosive growth perhaps have an additional layer of reverence for their customer, for that type of engagement. Do you feel like that's part of what seeded the growth for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we started this company on a single dressing that had 5 ingredients.
Wow.
As you grow, experts come in and they tell you, okay, we need operational efficiencies, we need this, we need that. And it was just standing true and being super stubborn and saying, you know what, customers are not going to want this. This is what they're going to want in 5 years, and I promise you that. And if not, fire me or take the company. But I promise you, and we're seeing it in the real food movement that's happening and documentaries that are coming out like Fed Up and everything else, it's like people are opening their eyes for the first time to, let's call it the ingredient list. And then here Tessemae's is 5-year head start. And now people are like, how did you figure that out? It was just being super stubborn, right?
Yeah, and just being true to your core. I think it's great. It's almost like the Henry Ford quote. He says, if I asked people what they wanted, they would have said a faster horse, right? Right. So you're kind of out in front of it. Now, how do you guys define that? Like, how do you get out in front of it? Is it because it's just such a passion point for you and you guys are really operating from your gut, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, you ask somebody, hey, what do you think of salad dressing? 10 out of 10 say it sucks, right? And so it's like, no, well, it sucks because everybody has just made the same crappy product forever.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, hey, we make it just like you would make it at home, but we make it 10 times better. So why don't you try that? And now people are like, wow, I really like the stuff that they're making. We came out with ketchup. We came out with fresh, real mayonnaise, just stuff that historically people look at as crap products. But now ketchup is only sweetened with date puree. Like, who's going to say no to that?
Yeah.
Nobody.
It's amazing how simple it sounds, but I think maybe a lot of our viewers get a little distracted by naysayers, outsiders, and don't stay true to their core. And maybe that's the lesson, right? Stay true to your core. Well, very cool.
Yeah.
Thanks so much,
Yeah,
man. I
for
really
sure.
appreciate it.